Gordon Ryan has cemented himself as the greatest no-gi submission grappler of all time, largely due to his unprecedented success at the past 3 ADCC championships. After coming across a well-written article done by Flow Grappling content creator Corey Stockton, where he delved into the analytics behind Gordon's performances through the 2017 and 2019 ADCC campaigns, I decided to review, expand on, and dive deeper into the numbers. So I statistically documented each and every one of Gordon's 21 ADCC matches up till 2022, from the number of takedowns landed down to the amount of time spent in dominant positions. My goal being to use the numbers to give a unique insight into Gordon's strategy and success throughout each ADCC tournament. I mean, what better way to make numbers more interesting than to view them through the lens of jiu-jitsu? So as we begin with ADCC 2017, be sure to subscribe to not miss a single video in this 4-part series, releasing over the course of the next few months. Leading up to the ADCC championships in 2017, Gordon Ryan was widely considered mainly a guard player, a leg locker really, but it wasn't meant as a slight to the rest of his game. His leg locking ability paired with his association to the mastermind behind the leg locking revolution, John Danaher, was just at the forefront of everyone's minds, including myself. But this perception was about to change. Throughout the tournament, over the course of 8 matches, en route to a gold and silver medal, we saw just how diverse he already was at this early stage in his career. And to get some insight, let's start by looking at where Gordon spent his time positionally, with the 4 main categories being standing, passing, guard, and back control. Surprisingly, Gordon spent a staggering 28 minutes and 56 seconds, or 39.1% of the time on his feet, frequently looking to work outside leg trips, single legs, and arm drags. He landed a total of 4 takedowns, 3 of them being the single leg. Here he is against Romulo Bahal, setting up the takedown entry by using the shuck off of the tie-up. Luckily, even with the referee and Flow cameraman tag team, we're still able to catch the action. Off of the tie-up, when Romulo goes to peel Gordon's hand off and posture up, Gordon is quick with the level change and grabs Romulo's exposed leg to enter the single, and then runs the pipe to force him down to the mat. Then there's these 2 instances against Felipe Pena and Keenan Cornelius where Gordon just plainly takes advantage of bad posture and positioning. And what I'd definitely say was his smoothest takedown was when he hit an arm drag against Janji Ribeiro. Off of hand fighting, Gordon takes a nice jab step in, then gets a deep underhook behind the triceps as he steps and sits out to the side, pulling Janji's arm across to come up and finish. Gordon's offense from the feet wasn't just limited to takedowns. He also snagged a sick guillotine reversal off of Keenan's takedown entry, sending him flying before finishing the submission in full mount. It is worth noting that all of these takedowns took place in the no points halves of their respective matches. So in other words, that explains why they probably weren't defended with the most effort, or in some cases none at all. Just keep that in mind because it also applies to guard passes, sweeps, etc. I should also mention that a huge contributing factor to Gordon spending most of the time on his feet is that in the later half of the rounds and in overtime, pulling guard gets you a penalty. So there's more incentive to stick it out on the feet. Before we get into Gordon's guard passing, just a quick word from this video sponsor, who also happens to be my mom, aka Artful Iris, on Etsy, where she makes beautiful custom handmade macrame dolls. From wedding themes to jiu-jitsu themes, she does it all. She definitely deserves a plug after helping me to do the math conversions for these videos, so shout out mom. The link to her Etsy shop will be in the description and in the comment section below. Now back to the video. Naturally, since Gordon spent much of the time on his feet, by managing to rack up some takedowns, this translated to him playing a lot more on top, spending 22 minutes and 54 seconds, or 30.9% of the time looking to pass the guard. The majority of his game revolved around headquarters passing, often using leg pummels to work his way in and out of the position. He also went for quite a few hip switches from here, and by a few, I mean a lot. But the pass which found him the most success was the body lock, using it with airtight pressure 2 times to make his way through the guards of his opponents. The first one coming after taking Romulo to the mat with a single leg, he immediately begins applying pressure, locking his hands around the waist as he flattens him out. After sprawling out to rid of one of the butterfly hooks, Gordon then begins to tripod as he attempts to high step over Romulo's knee, which is his last line of defense. Being so concerned about not allowing Gordon the high step over the knee line, Romulo keeps his knee flared out and open, giving Gordon the window to knee cut right through the guard. In the second scenario, against Craig Jones, Gordon manages to get the body lock grip and quickly force the half butterfly. As Gordon focuses on high stepping over the knee line, Craig's able to slip in the butterfly hook on the other side, but it's too late. Gordon high steps over the knee and pressures his way through Craig's Hail Mary Ezekiel before doing a classic half guard to mount transition, then getting the head and arm choke from mount. Coming in third for time spent in a position was the guard, spending 21 minutes and 3 seconds or 28.4% of the time on his back. Similar to his unrelenting passing style, Gordon was extremely active from bottom, always looking to make something happen. If his opponents were standing and not pushing forward from the top, he would use butterfly hook trips to offset their balance. When they would tentatively pass on their knees from a distance, he would threaten the wrestle up in order to get them to stand, often attacking their exposed legs or looking to follow through with a takedown when not respected. And when an opponent would get within range, either from pressuring in or through Gordon closing the distance, he would look to use his half butterfly guard. From here, sometimes going for his classic butterfly shoulder crunch sweep, or getting under his opponents to attack the legs. In this case, even looking to combine the threat of the sweep with a leg entry. Although he only managed to land one sweep throughout the entire tournament, and it was more of Craig Jones willingly sitting back than it was a sweep, Gordon used the guard to rack up 2 submissions. Here again, Cyborg is an example of Gordon using the butterfly back trip to wrestle up tactic to expose the leg, make his way into the saddle, and finish with an inside heel hook. Then against Muhammad Ali, where even though playing very defensive by passing on his knees, Gordon is able to use his butterfly guard to create elevation, to bring his weight forward and get under to attack the legs. Again, making his way to the saddle and finishing with the inside heel hook. Shockingly, despite having quite a few back take attempts, Gordon only managed to get full back control once, spending 1 minute and 7 seconds or 1.5% of the time in the position. Off of an explosive hip switch from headquarters, Romulo chooses to turtle to avoid conceding the pass. With perfect timing, Gordon slips in the first hook along with the seatbelt, then stays on the back, eventually getting the figure 4 body lock, then finishing with the rear naked choke. All in all, Gordon Ryan's debut at the 2017 ADCC Championships was just the beginning in what would become the greatest reign in the history of no-gi submission grappling. What was most impressive to me was how diverse and aggressive his jiu-jitsu was, constantly pushing the action while showcasing his highly improved top game on the biggest stage. What are your thoughts on his ADCC 2017 run? Don't forget to subscribe to stay tuned for part 2 in this series, which will be covering his ADCC 2019 performance. By the way, I recently made a Discord, so please feel free to join. The link will be in the description and the comment section below. Probably my favorite thing about it is the open mat channel, where I'm hoping the jiu-jitsu community can chime in and help solve the struggle of always having to wonder where and what time an open mat is. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.